Hi, I'm Sarah Sladek, and welcome to Membership Monday. In this podcast, we're going to delve into the much needed strategies related to membership recruitment and membership retention. Have you seen the television show Ted Lasso? If you haven't seen the show, let me tell you just a little bit about it. Ted Lasso is a football coach from the United States who is recruited to the UK to coach a soccer team. And of course, challenges follow and ensue because as he's learning about the game of soccer, he's also teaching the team valuable lessons in culture. In other words, what it takes to build an effective team, where the focus should be, what should be prioritized. And he quickly learns that his team is pretty disengaged. So there's a lot to learn about Ted Lasso and his approach to coaching. However, in one of the episodes, there is a new player that comes on the team. And he is exuberant. Danny is excited. He is so happy to be there. He actually claims, "Coach, football is life." Football is life. This attitude tends to be contagious because he's an exceptional player, but he also loves the game. And all of a sudden the team is wondering, do we love the game? Are we really here for the right reasons? But also, do we have the talent? I think that football is life can also be applied to membership because we're lacking that membership is life attitude and approach to membership. I have been working with associations globally since the early 2000s. And I got into this work because here's my story. I was a director for an association as a young professional. And I attended a national conference, and the keynote speaker said, let's find out who is here under the age of 40. And at the time, I was in my 20s. So I stood up, and I was shocked when I looked around, and we're talking about under the age of 40, there were only 12 people in a room of over 400. And for me, a light bulb went off. And I had to go back to the association after the conference and share with the staff some of my key learnings. And something that I shared was, hey, have you ever noticed how everyone on our board is over the age of 50, how our members are struggling to engage young talent, how we are struggling to engage young members. And do you ever think about the future and what that's going to mean for this organization? What are we going to do if we can't engage younger people? And at the time, my boss, the organizational president, said, "Oh, Sarah, that's very interesting and all, but that's never going to happen. That's never going to be a concern for us. Membership will continue to grow. Young people will also grow. And as young professionals grow and become more mature, they move into membership." And I was convinced this was not true. I was convinced there was no way that could be true because I was seeing associations that were struggling to adapt to changes in the marketplace, which meant they were struggling to stay relevant, which meant there was this widening gap between what associations were offering and what members actually wanted. And I was observing this fatigue, this apathy towards membership. Certainly not a membership is life attitude. Really, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we're not actually trained to be membership professionals. There's no degree you can obtain or course in. You could get the CAE, but that's mostly about governance. There's really very few resources that delve into this topic of membership. As a result, we see a lot of associations, membership organizations, membership associations, memberships in the name, and yet they are actually making mistakes. But it's because they don't know how to recruit and retain members. There hasn't been any training. There's no formal baton passing. There's no widespread knowledge of what it takes to really, truly engage a member, especially in light of today's changing landscape and marketplace. What I have learned in my research, I'm going to pass along in this podcast. I'm going to pass along what I have learned about the mistakes associations are making, how they're actually disengaging members, why they're struggling to engage young professionals, how this all relates to workforce and workforce engagement and trends, how it relates to economic, consumer trends, technology trends, and how all of these things play into the membership experience. How to create something that's valuable in today's market, what value proposition even is, how to even define membership engagement. Do you know how many definitions there are to member engagement? We don't know what we're doing. There is no manual. I have researched this topic for 20 years, and this is why I'm bringing this podcast to you, because it's time to tell the truth about membership. And it's time for us to take great pride in what our associations provide to members, for members, and for the greater communities and industries at large. And we can't do that successfully until we have a membership is life attitude. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be sending tips out every Monday, so be sure to like, share, and comment. I want to hear from you. I want to receive your questions. I will be addressing them throughout the podcast. If you know me, you know that I usually, I'm a speaker. I'm a professional speaker. I like to have a script. I like to practice things. I'm an author. I like to write everything out and really contemplate the words. But I'm not going to do that with this podcast. I'm going to tell you shoot straight from the hip. There are no scripts. There are no fancy things happening behind the scenes. This is just me telling you what I've learned about membership in my journey. So we can have coffee together, we can have laughs together, and we can cry a little bit together, because membership is not on a positive trajectory. But I'm here to tell you it can change. There are strategies that you can use to begin to grow membership and have that real membership is life attitude. And it's contagious when you have that attitude. So let's get there. Let's get there together. Once again, I am Sarah Sladek, and this is the Membership Monday podcast. Thanks for tuning in.